Hey everyone, welcome back to Faith, Family, Fitness, and Finance. Please hit like on this video, subscribe if you haven't already to the channel, and share this with a friend. I'm looking to grow the audience here, and I really appreciate any help that you can give in that area. Today we're going to be talking about finding work during a recession. If there were a catchphrase right now, it would probably be during these uncertain times. Everyone is saying that all the time, anytime they are talking about our current environment, because we are in unprecedented times. But we do know that things will start opening up again. There might be long-term impacts on our economy, but we need to find a way to move forward. And there's high stress, high anxiety, as so many people are dealing with income situations, job situations that could be in flux because there's so many small businesses that are suffering during this time. There is so much uncertainty. And I want to help all of you get through that. If I have any special ability, it's probably the ability to find employment. I was thinking back, and I really haven't been completely unemployed for the last 20 years. And that's just because I'm constantly finding some way to earn an income. I mean, not an impressive income yet at this point, but I'm working towards that because I'm always constantly looking for work, and I never have just one source of income. So the question becomes, how do you find work when no one seems to be hiring? So I have about 5 tips. I mean, it's not a comprehensive list, but hopefully this will help you on your job search during this recession. So number 1 is start with who you know. So it was March 12th. I was in the line at Walmart, and I had discovered that March break was going to be extended for 2 extra weeks, and I was so unsure about whether I was going to be paid or not, how everything was going to become impacted if businesses were shut down and all of that. So I was calling friends that I knew in the trades. I was texting my weekend job. I was trying to pick up extra hours, extra income. And I mean, I didn't have an immediate result from those things. I mean, business was shut down, so I was laid off from my weekend job, and my friends in the trades got shut down, so they weren't able to give me work at the time. But now, as things are starting slowly to open back up, I'm getting extra work at my weekend job. I have friends in the trades that are reaching out to me and trying to connect with me and trying to get me to go and work for them. And meanwhile, I've been working with the school board. I've been working with my financial services practice. I've been doing work around the house, all of these things. Now I've got to actually schedule my day because I have more work lined up than I have time to deal with. So it's really about using that warm network, using those connections that you already have to help you find the opportunities that are there. Because most likely, you just walking in off the street, giving someone a resume, you applying online, that's not very likely to land you a position. Which brings us to tip number 2. So building good habits. I mean, as things were sort of in flux, I just started building positive routines where I was working on home projects, finished the flooring in my office, started working on the laundry room, was working in the yard, doing all these things that were on my to-do list, and I had the excuse before that I didn't have time. But by scheduling my time and sticking with those disciplines, it helped me to be productive and helped me to reinforce those routines so that when I did have work to do, when I did have training over Zoom, when I had meetings through Google Meet, all those things that ended up becoming priorities, I already had those routines in place where I wasn't just sitting and binge watching Netflix during the day. I mean, we've all had unproductive days, but overall, I've been working hard to keep those routines in place. And I mean, even focusing on fitness since I have the time to do so right now. Those things are great because it provides momentum instead of you becoming inert and just sitting and doing nothing. It's so much easier to stay in motion when you're already being productive and doing those things that you should be doing. So number 3, on top of using your warm network and building those positive routines like fitness or prayer, all those things that you should be doing, how else can you be productive so that you can make progress towards finding employment during a recession? Well, number 3 is start a business. And that's probably easier said than done. But I mean, when we were digging out of debt, when we were just hustling and grinding and doing everything that we could, I started a small grass cutting business. I mean, I found a free mower on the side of the road, threw it in the back of my car, got a free weed whacker, and went to work, and eventually built it up from there, got more clients, and earned my way into a mower. Instead of forking out $300 cash, I lined up a job where I could work it off, and the client was able to pay for the mower in advance. So those things, when you're creative, you can start a business from scratch. I mean, right now I'm building my financial services practice, and I mean, it's not always bringing in the income that I want to bring in, but I have a long-term mindset where I'm like, okay, I'm going to help families, I'm going to have my licenses, I'm going to do the right thing, start to build a team so that later down the road, maybe this becomes a full-time gig. But for now, I'm working on that on the side. Every time I have time, I'm working on those things so that I can build that other stream of income through my business. So it might be anything. You could be, I don't know, making candles. I know some people who make honey. Well, they don't make honey, but you know what I mean. Just be creative with it. Do something that is right now a hobby, but you could actually start selling a product, providing value for other people, and it could create a source of income to get you by until you're able to line up the next thing. So what's next? If you're there, you're working on yourself, you're building those positive habits, you're reaching out to your warm network, you're doing all of those things, you may not want to start a business, and you're continuing to reach out and you can't seem to find employment. What do you do next? So that's when number 4 would come into play. Don't take it personally. We all face rejection. We all show up and do interviews, and then either get the call and you hear, okay, didn't get the job, or some people just don't even respond and you're sitting there waiting by the phone and you don't hear anything back. Don't be discouraged by those things. You're continuing to develop those skills. You're continuing to become a better communicator. It's huge, the learning curve, when it comes to doing interviews, when it comes to finding ways to customize your resume and your cover letter to that given posting. All of those things make you into a better communicator, and it will help you down the line to get the job that you really want, to get that dream job. Or it could just develop from something that you already are connected to. Someone in your warm network may put you into contact with someone that could give you a really great position. Or what usually happens with me is I just show up and I provide value for that person initially. And then even if that doesn't develop into a permanent job, someone that I make an impression on then gives me the next opportunity. And it could be the same for you. You could just get a Joe job for now, working at a coffee shop or something, and then one of your customers could become that person that gives you the next opportunity. And I've proven that to be true. So don't take it personally and be patient. It takes time. It's not going to happen overnight. And sometimes you have to take a job that isn't your ideal job, but it will pay the bills for now until you find something better. Which brings me to point number 5. So becoming better at selling yourself. Zig Ziglar used to say that everything is sales. So not in the traditional sense, but as you walk into that interview and they basically ask you, hey, why should we hire you for that job? I know if you're like me and you find it hard to brag about yourself sometimes, you walk into an interview, and if you're not prepared, you hem and you haw and you try to find the answer that they're looking for. But really, we should practice those things. We should be able to talk about ourselves the same way that we would talk about our best friend or someone that we've worked with, and talk about those positive attributes that you bring to the job, your work ethic, your integrity, all these things that you've proven over time that are true about you. You need to be able to talk about those things in a legitimate way so that that person is confident. Oh, that person really knows what they're talking about, really will show up on the day that we want them to be there, and they will bring something to the table. They will be someone that we can count on, and also someone that is going to be competent and confident in the role that they are being hired for. So, have I missed any major points? I'm sure I've missed quite a few. So please let me know in the comments below other points that I should share, maybe in my next video. And if you've found any value in this, please like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for joining me on Faith, Family, Fitness, and Finance. I look forward to seeing you next time.